Hi, I'm Christina and it is Friday now and it's 5 p.m. so I finished work for the week and I have next week booked off. So I'm really looking forward to that. I've actually done very little reading this week. I'm reading Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens, as you would have seen, and I'm only up to page 63. So I don't really think I can make a comment on it yet. The only thing I will say is I was very surprised that it was written in dialect. I always kind of have a little bit of trouble with books that are written in dialect. They're not really my favourite, but I'm definitely looking forward to carrying on, and I'm thinking I'm going to kind of sink more into it the more that I read. So I have 2 parcels, which is really exciting. So let's start with the books. I have this massive box, as you can see, and it's super heavy. So I've ordered from Books to Door for the first time, and they mainly sell more like children's and young adult books. So I have got, this is going to be heavy. 1 minute, let me get prepared. Right, so I have this trilogy, and the first one is called The Passage, and it's by Justin Cronin, and it's a young adult series, and it's about vampires essentially. Kind of a guilty pleasure of mine reading about vampires. So I read the first one, The Passage, in March, and I got that from my library, and this whole set was such a good price, and yeah, I couldn't say no. I made sure I spent enough to get free delivery. Obviously, you have to do that. So look at the size of that third one. That is massive. So that's that one. And then the next trilogy. Now, I haven't read any of these. I haven't read the first one, but it is the Chaos Walking trilogy by Patrick Ness. So I know this is like super popular on BookTube, and I must have just missed it first time round. I've only read one book by Patrick Ness, and that was called More Than This, and I really enjoyed it, but it was quite a few years ago now, so I thought I'm gonna give some more of his books a go, and I really liked the look of this series. It just really looked kind of like up my street. And the third trilogy that I bought isn't actually a trilogy. It isn't books that you read like that. It's just 3 books by the same author, and these are the 3 books by Frederick Backman, and I really love his writing. So I read Beartown, I think it was in 2018, and it was my absolute favourite book of the entire year, and can't stop banging on about how good it is, and I loved it so much, and his writing is so wonderful, and it was such a beautifully written book, so I wanted to read more by him. And I saw on Amazon that A Man Called Owens is about £6-7, and you can get this whole set for £10 and 20 pence. So it just works out such a good price. So the one I am most interested in reading is A Man Called Owens, and it's about an older gentleman, and I'm really looking forward to reading that one. And the other 2 that I am interested in, obviously not as interested as that one, and they're kind of like the free ones. I'm gonna like think in my head they're the free ones. So that one is My Grandmother Sends Her Regards and Apologies, and the other one is Brit Marie Was Here. So they were just like £3.33 a book. So if you're interested in the prices, the Chaos Walking trilogy was £9.99. Obviously these 3 were £10.20, and the Passage trilogy was £11.99. So yeah. So I'm now at 100 subscribers. It's been hovering around the 100 mark, going up and down for a while now, so I think this is really exciting. So I've just been flicking through this catalogue, and there's a few things that I think are really nice. Let me show you. So I really love these boots. I really like the fact that they're brown and it's a really small heel. I don't like too high boots because I find them really difficult to walk in. And I really love the laces down the front. I think it's a really like Victorian kind of vibe. and I think they're gorgeous. And let's see, what else did I like? I marked the pages. Here we are. I love these trousers. I love that they're kind of like wide boot cut, wide flares, and then the little detailing on the top is really nice too, because I find it quite difficult to find black trousers that I actually like. I also really like these tartan trousers, but maybe they're a little bit too much. I don't know. That's them on the model. She looks really good in them. One more thing, there's a beautiful red coat. Here it is. I think that's just one of the most beautiful coats I have ever seen. I love the detailing on it. It's just so beautiful. And there it is on the model. It's kind of military, which I really like, with the detailing here and the back. So I might order a couple of things. I'm not sure. What do you think? Do you like any of them? Let me know down in the comments. I also really love this red jacket. It kind of gives me Little Red Riding Hood vibes. And you can just see around the front, you've got all this detailing, and then you have the massive hood at the back. I think that one is so beautiful, but maybe it's a little bit too much, like fairy tale. I don't know. Hi, so it is Saturday now, and I'm going into Manchester for the first time since March. So it's going to be interesting to go back into the city and see what it's like, see how busy it is. And it's going to be the first time I'm getting public transport since March as well. So that's going to be good practice for going back to work. And I'm wearing this super pretty, if you can see, orange segment dress. I just love this print. I think it's so cute. Hi, so I finished Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens, and overall I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. So the only reason it isn't a 5-star read for me was because I found the beginning quite slow-paced, and I didn't feel as connected to the characters as I think I could have been. But the more I read and the more I progressed throughout the book, the more I started to really connect to the main character of Kaya and really kind of care about what happened to her. So the book's split into 2 main timelines. You have Kaya when she's a little girl, and then she grows up throughout the book. And then in the other timeline, a man has been found dead in the marsh where Kaya lives. And it's a police investigation trying to find out how this man died. So I went into this thinking it was going to be a mystery, just a mystery, but I don't think it reads completely as a mystery. There's obviously definitely a mystery in there and it's embedded within it, but it kind of reads more like literary fiction to me and more of a contemporary kind of fiction. So I would say it says on the back that it's kind of a coming of age story, and it is for all intents and purposes. And it's also much more of a character-driven story rather than a plot-driven story. But I still really enjoyed it, but it wasn't quite what I was expecting. So definitely 4 stars. I'd definitely say give it a read. It's obviously a hugely popular book for a reason, and I definitely look forward to reading whatever she writes next because it was good and I enjoyed it. So whilst I'm here, I also have some parcels to unwrap, and they've been sitting here for a while because I've been quite busy and I haven't had time to open them. So I'll open them now. So one of them is absolutely massive, and this is a yoga mat because I'm going to try and get more into yoga. And I used to just do it on the floor, on the carpet. It's not ideal, is it? So again, this is probably going to take me ages to get into, so I might need to pull this out. It is purple. It's got like a little carry case. I was not expecting that. So that's that. Now the next parcel is books, and I honestly can't remember what I ordered, which is really bad. I think I ordered 3 and I have absolutely no idea what I ordered. So this will be exciting for me as much as it is for you because it's absolute surprise. So let's see, what did I order? Oh yeah, I remember ordering this one. So this is The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. And this is really, really popular on BookTube, and it's obviously a science fiction. And I'm pretty sure it was Books with Emily Fox that was talking about it, that I was listening to and thought I really fancy reading that. It's quite damaged at the back, look at that. It's brand new as well. Anyway, so let's see what it's about. When Rosemary Harper joins the crew of the Wayfarer, she isn't expecting much. The Wayfarer, a patched-up ship that's seen better days, offers her everything she could possibly want. A small, quiet spot to call home for a while, adventure in far-off corners of the galaxy, and distance from her troubled past. But Rosemary gets more than she bargained for with the Wayfarer. The crew is a mishmash of species and personalities. From Sissix, the friendly reptilian pilot. Oh god, this doesn't sound like me. To Kizzy and Jenks, the constantly sparring engineers who keep the ship running. Life on board is chaotic, but more or less peaceful, exactly what Rosemary wants. Until the crew are offered the job of a lifetime, the chance to build a hyperspace tunnel to a distant planet. They'll earn enough money to live comfortably for years if they survive the long trip through war-torn space without endangering any of the fragile alliances that keep the galaxy peaceful. But Rosemary isn't the only person on board with secrets to hide, and the crew will soon discover that space may be vast, but spaceships are very small indeed. So, I'm going to admit I was a little bit put off by the friendly reptilian pilot line. But saying that, I really enjoyed the Red Rising series. And that kind of feels like a similar vibe. Maybe. So that's that one. I'll see how it goes, but that line put me off. So that's that one. If you've read that, let me know what you think of it down in the comments. Really love to know what you thought. So the next one. Oh, I read this one. So this is The Life and Death of Sophie Stark. And I really, really enjoyed this book. I read it, I think in 2018, might have been 2017. It's by Anna North, and this was my absolute favourite book of that year, hands down. I just thought it was absolutely wonderful, and it was the best book of the entire year. And it was only about £4.50, and I thought I'm just going to buy it because I really fancy reading it again and seeing if I love it just as much as I did last time. It's essentially about this girl called Sophie Stark, and it's written from people in her life who are important to her, or that she is important to them. And we kind of just hear about her without ever meeting her, just hearing about her through other people. And each chapter, I believe, that I can remember, each chapter or each part is by a different person in a different stage of her life, and then quite often it's someone else in a new stage of her life. So I loved it so much, and I bought it. I borrowed it from the library, so I don't own it. And I'd also like my dad to read it because I really enjoyed it. So I'll just read you the back quickly. Who is the real Sophie Stark? This is the story of an enigmatic film director told by the 6 people who love her most. Brilliant, infuriating, all-seeing and unknowable, Sophie Stark makes films said to be more like life than life itself. But her genius comes at a terrible cost. To her husband, to the brother she left behind, and to an actress who knows too much. I thought it was so wonderful. So I hope that I enjoy it just as much second time round. Let's see. Right, third one, final one. That was the box. So this is All the Bad Apples by Moira Fowley Doyle. It's a really pretty cover. Now I have to say, I got this one because I saw someone talking about it on their channel, and for the life of me, I cannot remember who it was. If I remember, I'll put it down in the description box for you, but I think now it's completely gone. I have absolutely no idea, and I don't even remember why I wanted it now. Let me just read the back of it. So it says, Our family tree is full of bad apples. You know the kind, the ones who don't follow the rules, the ones who dress differently, think differently, love differently. The curse of the bad apples has claimed my sister, and now it's coming for me. So that actually doesn't tell you very much at all, does it? But I obviously really, really wanted it because I bought it. So we'll see how that goes. So that's the third one. So if you have read any of these three, let me know if you like them. I'd be really interested to know. And that's about it, I guess. So I'm just about to start my new book, The Force of Nature by Jane Harper. And this is the sequel to The Dry, which I read a couple of years ago now, and I absolutely loved it. So really looking forward to starting this one.
For the protection of everyone, you must wear a face covering that covers your nose and mouth on board trains.
Hi, so I have finished my book, The Force of Nature by Jane Harper, and I have to say I thought it was pretty average. So I'm going to give this one 3 stars. It just didn't have the specialness of the other 2 books that she'd written, The Dry and The Lost Man, and I didn't think it was written as well either. So the other 2 books were really well written and they were really beautifully atmospheric, and this one not so much. I mean, it's still set in Australia, but it didn't have that kind of special quality. I think it lacked a little bit of magic that was in the other 2, unfortunately. I kind of don't feel like the main character, Aaron Falk, really progressed that much, and the partner that he's working with, I'm not really that bothered about her. She's fine, but it's nothing particularly exciting. And then the actual story about the woman that had gone missing and the mystery about what had happened to her, again, it was okay. It wasn't like super exciting. I didn't really care. So it's a good book. It's a good, solid 3-star read, but I don't think it's anything that's going to be particularly memorable or one that I like want to rush back and read one day. But it's still a good, solid book, but not as good as the others. So that's it, and I'm going to wrap up the vlog here. This has gone on for about 2 to 3 weeks, this vlog, and I'm just going to end it there now because it's got a bit crazy. So the only 2 books I have read in this vlog was obviously that one, and then also Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens, and I give this one 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. It's a great book. I definitely recommend you read this one. So thank you so much for watching. I will link some of my more recent videos down below in case you're interested, and I will see you in my next video. I hope you have a lovely day or a lovely evening, whatever time of day it is with you. Bye!